This is the edge of Farmer Herbst's woods, and the edge of Farmer Herbst's woods looks a great deal like the whole woods would have looked in 1863. Most of the woodlots on the battlefield were intensively managed by the landowners. That's where they got all their wood from, for their rail fencing, for building material around their home. They allowed their cattle to graze in the woods periodically, which left them very open. You could see, as soldiers said, nearly 100 yards into these woods. However, in May of '62, things changed for them. They received a new commander. His name was John Gibbon, and John Gibbon was a regular Army soldier. And Gibbon understood that volunteer soldiers were very different than regular soldiers. Regulars, a lot of times, joined the Army to escape the law or for a variety of reasons that weren't really patriotic. Volunteers wanted to be there. They'd volunteered to do this business. So you couldn't treat them the same way. So he decided that the best way to treat these men was to inspire them, to make them feel a part of a team, to give them esprit de corps. So he ordered every man in the brigade to draw the uniform of the U.S. Regular Army. There was a frock coat that came down above your knees, the Hardee hat, and white leggings that you wore over your sky blue trousers above your shoes. Immediately, everybody hated Gibbon because you had to buy this uniform. It cost them money. They didn't like the leggings, a lot of things they didn't like about it. But eventually it began to make them distinctive. They were the only whole brigade in the Army where everybody looked exactly the same like this. They looked like regulars. Okay, where you're at right now is a little bit north of where the Six Wisconsin would have been in position. It would have actually been a little bit south over towards Randy Files' house. When the 6th came over the ridge line directly behind you here and came down into this low ground, as they came over, they were in column. They would have formed into a line of battle, just as you are in right now. Well, you're a pretty rough, ragged one right now. You have to do better. At the center of the regiment, just as we have now, would be the colors of the 6th Wisconsin. Now the colors, all of you now can really understand part of the function that they're going to serve. You can all see them, right? It's important to be able to see those colors. They can control the movements of our command. They're a point that if we get broken up and are forced to retreat, we can rally around them. That's where the song Rally Around the Flag Boys comes from. They can serve as a point of inspiration in the event you have to make a desperate assault upon your opponent. So the colors are an important means of communications, and Rufus Dawes, the regimental commander, will post himself behind them. As I mentioned, some of you are older than 24, some of you are younger than 24, some of you may be 24, but imagine being 24 years old with 420 lives under your command, about to lead soldiers into a very desperate battle. A lot of responsibility for a young man.